If you are thinking that pre-rendering in Next.js is only about SSG or SSR, then you are missing very important part. Next.js introduces something called partial pre-rendering or PPR. It combines the speed of static pages with the flexibility of dynamic content. So in today's video, I'm going to explain that what actually it is and when you should use this. Before understanding PPR, we need to understand a problem. In Next.js, we normally have static site generation, means SSG, and server side rendering, means SSR. So static pages are fast, but they cannot show real-time data. On the other hand, the server rendered pages can show dynamic data, but they are slower because the server must generate a page on each request. So the question becomes, what if part of a page is static and only a small section of this is dynamic? Let me give you an example of a page. For example, we have a web page where we are displaying a product image. On the right side, we have a product description, but below we have a recommended products section. Now this section is dynamic and we want to show this dynamic according to the preferences of a user. So in this example, you can see that if we will use the server side rendering, each time our server have to do a work that is not required. Each time, for example, if 100 users are fetching that page in one day, what our server will do, fetch that image from a database, fetch that product information from that database, and then the recommended products. And then after rendering the complete page, it will serve this page to the user. So now you can see that this work is static and this one is dynamic. So we cannot solve this with static site generation because we need dynamic part, and we cannot, and we should definitely use this server side rendering. But Next.js have introduced a new feature called partial pre-rendering. So what does it means? When you will make a build of your website, the Next.js actually render this part and convert this into a plain HTML. And when a user will see a specific this page, so it will serve this page, I means these two sections immediately. But here, in the meantime, when the server will be rendering this part, the Next.js will show him a skeleton, and it will use the React suspense feature actually. And once the rendering of this section will be completed, the server will send this section to the browser, and browser will immediately display that section in the user's browser. Let me further explain this to you with the coding part. You can see that we have this component, and in this component we have this data which is going to be static each time user will visit this page. So in PPR, what will be happen when user will see the page, this part will immediately send to his browser and he will see this. But you can see that this section is actually dynamic, and we have wrapped this in a suspense part. So you can also see that fallback. So fallback here, you can see that at this moment there is a just simple p element, but there can be a full skeleton or loading bar actually. So it means immediately user will see this and this loading user stats, and behind the scene what our server will do, it will just start rendering this page dynamically. Now maybe in this component you are fetching some data from by some DB queries, you are calculating something, or maybe you are sending an API request to a third-party server. And once you will generate that HTML, so this section will appear to the user where actually he was seeing this, and this will be removed automatically. So this is a new feature, suspense is introduced, and on the top of this feature, Next.js have built this PPR. So this is very useful in this case. So if you want to make this enable, actually in newer versions of Next.js, PPR actually is experimental, and in your next.config.js file you can make this experimental. PPR is equal to true, and after enabling, Next.js automatically handle static and dynamic boundaries using suspense feature of React. So our next question is when you should use PPR. You can use PPR when most of the page is static, small parts of it is dynamic, you want better performance, you care about SEO, and you want fast initial load time. So you should not use a PPR when entire page is fully dynamic and you need real-time streaming everywhere. So here is the final summary of today's video. So actually partial pre-rendering combines static and dynamic rendering. It uses React suspense feature. It streams dynamic content. It improves perceived performance and ideal for hybrid pages. So think of it like build time for the skeleton and request time for personalized data. If you found this explanation helpful, subscribe for more deep dives into Next.js architecture, performance strategies, and production best practices. Thanks for watching.